The year was 2008. A leaked video of Fox News anchor Bill O'Reilly freaking out on camera went viral on YouTube, entering the phrase, "Fuck it, we'll do it live," into the popular lexicon. And Iraqi journalist Muntadar al-Zaidi narrowly missed striking George W. Bush in the head with 2 airborne shoes during a farewell conference in Baghdad. Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt set a new world record time of 9.69 seconds in the 100-meter dash at the Summer Olympics in Beijing, and Seth MacFarlane signed a $100 million agreement with Fox to keep his shows Family Guy and American Dad on the air through 2012, making him the world's highest-paid television writer. Those events may be completely unrelated, but they each left an undeniable mark on pop culture, just like a movie from the same year that at the time was the second highest-grossing musical ever released. But Jesse never saw it. Until now. This is Movies I Missed 2008, Episode 10, Mamma Mia.
I'm Jesse Munoz.
I'm Ryan Miller.
This is Movies I Missed 2008, episode number 10. Today we are talking about the film Mamma Mia, released July 18th, 2008, with a running time of 1 hour and 48 minutes. I want to give a warning that we will be discussing all aspects of this movie. That includes spoilers. Mamma Mia is a 2008 musical romantic comedy directed by Lydia Lloyd, based on the hit stage musical featuring songs by ABBA. Follows Sophie, a young bride-to-be on a Greek island who discovers her mother Donna once had relationships with 3 different men. Hoping to find a real father before the wedding, Sophie secretly invites all 3, sending Donna into a panic as old memories and feelings resurface.
If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
Sorry.
If you need me, let me know. I'm gonna be around. If you got no place to go, if you're feeling down, speech. I'm gonna make a speech, everybody. Yeah, get ready. If you're all alone, when the pretty birds have flown, honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. Gonna do my very best, and it ain't no lie. If you put me to the test, if you let me try, take a chance on me. Take a chance on me.
Couple of plugs. Moviesimissed.com is our website. Check us out there. You can get access to our Instagram and our YouTube. At Movies I Missed Podcast is the handle for both of those. And we're available anywhere you get podcasts. So please subscribe. Ryan, or should I say Ryan, here we go again to talk about some movies. Okay. I could ask why you haven't seen Mamma Mia, but it's pretty safe to understand why. To be frank, neither one of us.
Why are you making this about me? You're the one who chose this movie.
It's it's not surprising that neither one of us had seen Mamma Mia, is all I'm saying. I watched it and Jenny came into the room and was like, why are you watching Mamma Mia? Like, she had no idea why I would even be watching it. I'm like, oh, I had to watch it for the podcast. She's like, I tried to have you watch it with me when it originally came out. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know what to say. But here we are, final episode of the final movie that we'll be watching for this season is the Mamma Mia movie. I go back and forth with musicals. Like, there are some musicals that I really enjoy. I think mostly Disney stuff. But then there's times where I watch musicals and I'm just like, this is just not for me. I tried to watch like West Side Story, the newest one by Steven Spielberg. Mm-hmm. I was so disinterested in it. I just could not get into it. I don't know if it has to do with the music or maybe because it's songs that I know, but I don't know. I'm not a huge ABBA fan, but I knew a few of these songs. I don't know. Where are you at with musicals? There's some that I like. I like Grease. I liked La La Land. I thought that was really good. And I have a history with all the Disney animated musicals that, we enjoyed growing up. And, musicals would not be my go-to jam when I'm picking a movie to watch.
I mean, I'm fine with musicals. They're generally not something I'm seeking out, but I've never been like, ew, that's a musical. I don't want to watch it. I mean, one of my favorites since childhood was Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That's a musical. I mean, like you said, pretty much all the Disney stuff that we watched as kids, like Lion King and Aladdin and Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and all that stuff that was coming out in the 90s when we were younger. A musical that I really love from recent-ish memory is Les Mis, the version with Hugh Jackman and Amanda Seyfried, who's in this. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't.
I really like that movie. That's one where like I went to see it just because it was like the big new movie out that holiday season. I went with my parents and my grandfather to see it. I didn't know anything about it, and I thought that the story was great. I thought the music was really good. You've presumably heard me talk about that movie on the episode of Triple Threat Theater that Dax and I did. So I won't go fully into it, but something I really like about that movie, and having just rewatched it within like the last year or two for that show, and this being like one of the first musicals I've seen since rewatching it, it felt like a big like difference between the two is that they recorded all of the singing for that movie live. So instead of like the cast getting together, recording the music in like the songs in a recording studio and then playing that back and lip syncing to it, which, you know, can feel phony, as it may or may not in this movie. They actually had like earpieces in and had someone like playing piano and like following along with the actors. So like if they felt like dramatically slowing down or speeding up or getting excited or being sad while singing the song for dramatic effect, it comes through in the performance. And then when they scored the music to actually go along with the singing in the movie, they matched it to like Hugh Jackman's timing and whatnot.
Wow.
And I think that makes that movie, like, I think it makes the music work incredibly well in that movie. Like the big musical number that, what's her name? Catwoman
Anne
in
Hathaway?
Dark Knight. Yeah, like her big musical number that it's called like The Dream I Dream. That song fucking devastates me when I watch that movie because of her performance and the way that she does it and the context of it.
Right. It's not just her singing the song. There's an actual performance that goes with the music.
Yeah, and she's like crying and gasping for breath while she's singing it, and it's just incredible to have that powerful, emotional music, but with the performance. And the funny thing is, I've like seen people write about and make like video essays about that movie and the way that the music was done who have the exact opposite opinion of me because they're like, you know, music majors and they like work in theatrical music and stuff and talk about how like that's not the way you should do it. Like you should want the music to be perfect and it's imperfect because of this and that. And I don't know, to each their own. I really think that works. I know that not every musical is going to be like that, and that's perfectly fine, but that's just to say like there is a musical that I really love, and I love it a lot of the reason up for that is because of the music and the way the music was done.
Okay, so I think I found the common denominator, and it's the music, right? Like I feel like for a musical to work, I have to connect to the music somehow. I have to be into whatever songs they're singing. So whether it's they're singing their feelings or it's, you know, whatever, I have to connect to the songs. And I feel like a lot of times when I watch musicals, a lot is saying I'm probably too much. I don't watch a lot of musicals. At times when I've watched musicals and not connected to with them or not really enjoyed them, it's because I just don't really care for the music or I don't connect to the songs or whatever. And I think it's almost like cheating in a way to have pop music or pop songs lead your musical because it gives you an in, at least for me. I'm trying to think. There was another one like this, a Beatles version, Across the Universe. And, you know, I'm a huge Beatles fan. Love the Beatles. And the music's pretty good in that. I enjoyed the music, but that one was a kind of a tougher watch. Like it felt a little bit forced. And I think when we get to the story of this one, I think that is probably going to be where I sit as well, where it's like they're trying to force these songs into a narrative, and I'm not 100% sure if they work or not. So,
well, it's like something like Les Mis or like Aladdin or something. Like the songs that they're singing are contextual to like what the characters are going through, and it's specific to the characters. Yeah. And so, yeah, like I can see the appeal of doing like a rock opera or whatever and like taking all the songs from an album or songs from a specific band and trying to make a show around it just because you really love that music. But like maybe if you're a big ABBA fan, that makes this movie work better for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna throw a bombshell out there for you. Would you believe that when I pressed play on this movie, I didn't know I was watching a musical?
Are you serious?
I didn't.
Wow. Okay.
I discovered, not that I knew much about either movie, but for some reason, which I couldn't explain, I was like getting this movie and My Big Fat Greek Wedding confused.
Oh, okay.
I have never seen either before, knew that they were both big. And yeah, like, so when they started singing the first time in this, like when it opens with like that little song number where it's like nighttime and she's sending the letters, I was like, is this just like a weird like prologue? And then when like they started singing elsewhere in the movie, I was literally like, oh, I did not know I was watching a musical.
That's so funny.
And then as the movie goes on, I start to be like, well, wait a minute, I recognize this song. Like some of the songs are actual songs. Like I was totally didn't know what the fuck I was
hilarious.
in for.
That is so good. It's so funny that you mixed it up with My Big Fat Greek Wedding, also produced by Tom Hanks. Both of these movies are produced by Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're both about a wedding, and I don't know. I just had them mixed up in my head. But
that's funny.
But before we proceed, I feel like you haven't really answered what is usually the first question asked on the show.
Why did I pick this?
Yeah, and I'm not asking it in an antagonizing manner, because like if you'll remember for season 1 when it came down to like, oh, let's watch a couple other things to talk about, I watched Notting Hill. Yeah. And enjoyed it. I'm just curious, like, why did you pick this?
I picked this for 2 reasons. One, it opened up against The Dark Knight. So I've always been curious about it. And 2, it was one of the biggest movies of the year. So it went against the biggest movie of the year and made a ton of money. We'll get into the box office later, but man, this movie was huge. And it feels like of the movies from 2008 that I haven't seen, this is like the biggest one, the one that made the most money and had a cultural impact that I hadn't seen. Because I've seen,
that wasn't really even on my radar, and I had no clue that this was like that huge.
Yeah, it was huge. It was really big, and so it felt like one of I'm not spoiling whether I liked it or not. It felt like one of the big like misses of the year for me, like. Because when you look at 2008 on Letterboxd, it has most popular movies. If you look at just the year, you can see all the movies listed. Number 1, obviously, is The Dark Knight. Number 2 is WALL-E. Number 3 is Mamma Mia, above Iron Man, which, again, this is Letterboxd. It's Letterboxd, so it says something. But, just look at the movies from 2008. Dark Knight, WALL-E, Mamma Mia 3rd, Twilight, number 4, Iron Man number 5, Ponyo number 6, Kung Fu Panda, Benjamin Button, Incredible Hulk, Step Brothers, even like Indiana Jones. I mean, there's big Tropic Thunder, Quantum of Solace. There's a Narnia movie, The Hurt Locker, Pineapple Express. There's a ton of movies, and it's way up there. So I felt, I don't have zero interest in Twilight, even though it's one of the bigger ones. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna watch that one for the year review.
Was this the year that the first one came out?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we're both safe because neither of us have seen those and neither of us chose to make the other one watch them.
Yeah. So no interest in watching that. But, Dark Knight I've seen, WALL-E I've seen, but love both of those. Iron Man, of course, I loved. We watched Ponyo. I've seen Kung Fu Panda, Benjamin Button. We watched In Bruges, seen Slumdog Millionaire, seen Incredible Hulk, seen Tropic Thunder, seen Burn After Reading, Schenectady, New York. We watched for this, Step Brothers, Indiana Jones, Gran Turismo, Cloverfield. I mean, so you go through the list of like top 20, top 25, and it's the most glaring omission for me, at least.
Gotcha. Yeah, I never even looked at that stuff. I was just basically picking things I wanted to see, so I didn't realize this was that big.
Yeah. So it's a big one. I mean, it's got Meryl Streep in it. So not saying that she is obviously going to draw people, but she brings whatever she does. I feel like every time I watch a new Meryl Streep movie, usually for a podcast, because that's when I'm watching her movies, I'm like, dang, she's really good. I really, really like her and really enjoy what she's doing, and glad to have seen whatever she was in, just because she has it. There's a reason everyone always talks about her being like the greatest film actress of all time, is because she has it. So, all right. So this is a musical that it's based on a hit stage play, a jukebox musical that was released in 1999. And the same team that made it originally worked on the film adaptation. So I imagine they're pretty close. It's taking ABBA songs and creating a narrative. And the narrative is Meryl Streep hooked up with 3 guys around the same time, and we don't know who Amanda Seyfried's dad is. And she wants to find out before she gets married because it feels like there's a piece of her that's missing, and she thinks that finding her dad will change that. And so that's the story. The story is who knocked up Meryl Streep.
And of course, the ideal time to solve this mystery is on the eve of your wedding.
Right. She wants her dad to give it away. I mean, the story is rough. It's a rough story. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's a very like mainstream kind of romantic comedy premise. And like, that's all well and good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I was constantly like kind of grimacing at the movie and being like, every decision that some of these people are making is awful. And like the timing of everything is bad, but it's like it fits.
Isn't that fit though? That fits romantic comedies.
Does.
Yeah.
But I was just like, never would it transpire this way in real life. Anything. And I'm not even talking about like breaking out into song. I just mean the plot.
Yeah. All right. So directed by Lydia Lloyd. The only other credit that I found for her was The Iron Lady. She's mostly theatrical director. So if you look at her credits, it's mostly theater. But she did direct this. Meryl Streep is the star. She plays Donna Sheridan. We've got a bunch of stuff that she's been in, but it's Meryl Streep. Movies that you and I have discussed are Out of Africa.
We reviewed Kramer versus Kramer on Sidetracked.
Yes.
We reviewed Out of Africa last season for this show.
The other ones you have listed, I haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Sophie's Choice or The Bridges of Madison County myself, but I mean, they're like big names.
Huge, yeah.
I've seen The Deer Hunter and Death Becomes Her. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It is a really fun movie.
Yeah. Thoughts on Meryl Streep?
I mean, yeah, she's good.
She's good.
She's quite good.
Yeah. Amanda Seyfried plays her daughter. She was in Mean Girls. She was in Les Mis, as you mentioned. She's got a new movie coming out with, what's her name? The other blonde girl. It's like young version of her now. The House Guest or The House.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney.
The Key House Key or something.
The Housemaid, I think.
The Housemaid, yeah. She's good. I think the first thing that I saw her in was Mean Girls, and she plays this really ditzy, dumb girl, really funny. And then you see that she could do other stuff. I'm trying to think of some other things that she's been in that I've seen. I think I've seen her in stuff where she's like, yeah, she's actually a good actor. Like, I haven't seen Les Mis, but yeah, I enjoyed her in this.
Yeah. I mean, she can sing. Like,
yeah.
When I realized it was a musical, I was like, okay, I've already seen her in Les Mis, so I understand how and why she's in this.
And we'll get to the guys in a minute, but you can tell when we get to the guys that everyone did sing in this movie.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that is something, as much as I like Les Mis, people do criticize Hugh Jackman to a degree, and especially Russell Crowe in that movie for their singing. And I mean, all I could think of was Russell Crowe and how people bag on him whenever Pierce Brosnan opened his mouth during a song in this. But
so yeah, we got Pierce Brosnan as Sam Carmichael, Colin Firth as Harry Bright, and Stellan Skarsgård as Bill Anderson. Those are the 3 men that she hooked up with. Pierce Brosnan was her like boyfriend who was also engaged to be married, or not her boyfriend, but like a summer fling who fell in love with her but was engaged to be married and left her. Basically, she's to go have a family.
You find out that he like left her to go get married, but changed his mind, broke off the marriage, came back, and then she was gone, already off screwing either Colin Firth or Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah. So he's had a whole life where he's got married and had kids, and we find out that he's now divorced. Colin Firth was like a one-time hookup. He was like a hippie. No, he was like a
rocker,
musician
like
or something.
Brit pop rocker guy.
Yeah.
And ends up becoming gay.
Yeah. I don't know if he realizes that he's gay on this trip or.
Yeah, I don't know, but it comes like the whole movie. I was like, it feels like he's playing it that way, but then all of a sudden at the actual ceremony at the end, that he makes some kind of comment and the camera pans to like a attractive Mediterranean looking dude, and I was like, oh, I wasn't sure we were gonna go full on like. And then he says at one point, he's like, yeah, you're the only woman I've ever loved or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot is revealed at this wedding. And then Stellan Skarsgård was like a hippie guy that she hooked up with. And all three of them sing in this movie, and I use that in the loosest term possible. It is uff with a capital Uff. This is, gosh, like Meryl Streep is singing her heart out, and she's singing really well, and Amanda Seyfried's singing her heart out and singing really well, and then Pierce Brosnan opens his mouth, and I'm like, that's definitely Pierce Brosnan, and I don't know if we can call that singing. Colin Firth and Stellan Skarsgård are pretty rough as well, but Pierce Brosnan was the roughest of them all.
Yeah.
Did you like the fact that they kept those guys in, or was it like
the actual singing voices?
Yeah, like maybe they should have like just had someone else sing and then
them or something. Yeah,
I don't know. There's part of me that feels like I kind of like it because it's of how like naturalistic and real and imperfect it is, but then it's also to the point it's so imperfect that it's almost like kind of grating.
Well, here's what I'll say. And, you know, I don't mean to keep bringing it back to this and making it sound like it's God's gift to musicals, but like I can defend Russell Crowe, for example, in Les Mis because, again, he's the guy they chose for the role and he's giving a live performance. Yeah. So it's like his emotions and whatnot in the actual songs. In a case like this, if Pierce Brosnan struggles to sing and it's not a strong suit and it's going to be kind of glaring, they're pre-recording the songs. They could have somebody else. He's already lip syncing to his own voice. Yeah. He could be lip syncing to someone else's voice and it wouldn't be so jarring. Yeah. So in this case, I do think that they should have dubbed him and potentially the other two guys as well, even though they sing less than him.
Yeah, but he's got like a whole song with Meryl Streep at the end. It's like,
I mean, of the three guys, he ends up being like the main guy. He was like the one that they were really in love, and the other two were just like, you know, one night stands or 1 week stands or, you know, rebound fucks or whatever.
Yeah. I'll just quickly mention the other cast members, and then we can kind of talk more about the movie. Julie Walters was one of her friends. Christine Baranski was her other friend. I guess they were in a band together previously. Julie Walters I recognized as Ron Weasley's mom. That's
her I didn't recognize at all.
Yeah. I was looking at her, I'm like, I know her from somewhere. Where is she from? And I'm like, oh, she's Ron Weasley's mom. She wears an orange redheaded wig in that. And then Christy Baranski is very famous. But we also reviewed her or saw her movie that she was in season 1 of this little show. She was in Bowfinger, which we really enjoyed.
Yeah, love her in that. And she's also very memorable to me in, I think, only maybe one scene of another comedy that I love, The Birdcage.
I don't remember what scene it is. I've seen The Birdcage.
So, you know, in the movie, obviously Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are a gay couple. Yeah. But Robin Williams has a son because he did sleep with a woman and have a kid. She's the mom. And there's like one scene where somebody goes to talk to her and ask her advice or something. I think that like, so, I mean, we don't have to get into it, but like they want her to come to like the dinner party and pretend that she and Robin Williams are married, but then it's like she gets delayed and then like, the whole comedy of errors begins. But
she's just funny. Whenever she's on screen, she's just funny. She's got a natural humor to her that really works. I haven't seen her in a ton of stuff, but she's just fun. She's just super fun. Plays a very particular type of character, the rich, snooty person that you're supposed to hate, but is funny because of what she brings to it. I don't know. She's good. And then Dominic Cooper plays Amanda Seyfried's fiance, and he is Howard Stark from Captain America: First Avengers. Was Preacher, Jesse Custer, and Preacher. Yeah, that we like to forget about, and.
Fucking Warcraft, which we have actively all forgotten about already.
I still haven't seen it, but I know that you were a fan
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Okay, so the setup is right away it comes out with Amanda Seyfried's found this diary where Meryl Streep talks about the three guys that she hooked up with, and we're going to find out who her dad is.
Yeah, but her plan is because even the three guys and her mom don't know which one her dad is. So her big plan is I'm going to invite them all here. And when I see the three of them in front of me, I'll just know which one is my dad. And of course it doesn't work at all. It's like the stupidest idea.
It's so dumb. Yeah. It's funny because she says, like, once I find my dad, a part of me will be complete. And I leaned over to Jenny and I said, that's not going to happen. I just like right when she said that, just because it's just a cliche, right? Like, like this is the setup of the movie.
Yeah.
She says the problem right at the beginning, and that it's not going to be a simple answer. And so then it's kind of like a comedy of errors mixed in with a bunch of ABBA songs, Mamma Mia being one of the bigger ones. How familiar were you with ABBA and the songs? And when did you realize, oh, these are all ABBA songs?
I never realized that because, I mean, look, I can tell you whatever you want to know about like 90s Wildstorm comics. If you want to know like the entire filmography of Frank Henenlotter, I'm here for you. But when it comes to music, I'm mentally handicapped. Like a bunch of the ABBA songs in the movie, if you put a gun to my head and gave me 100 guesses, I never would have come up with ABBA. Like ABBA, I know is a band, and that is all I know about them. But I bet you I could have hummed along for sure, if not sung a couple of lines, because I've heard a bunch of those songs so many times. But that's just the kind, like, I don't have that music mind. Like, even my favorite bands, like, I don't remember the names of the songs. Like, I can sing them for you, but like, I don't remember the names of the albums and like that. Like, that's just not the way my brain works when it comes to music. So like I said, at some point in the movie, I was like, well, wait a minute, I've heard this before. Like, I'm realizing that some of these are real songs, but there was never a moment where I was like, oh, these are all the same band. And I know who that band is.
Sure.
So yeah,
so you could. So like, if you know Dancing Queen because you've heard it a million times, you wouldn't. Yeah,
exactly.
This is ABBA.
Like, I know the songs, but I don't know about the songs. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So of the songs that were played, how many of them did you recognize or think that? Oh, I've heard this before.
I mean,
three. 4?
I wasn't keeping track, and there's a lot of songs in the movie. I mean, there's obviously scenes where the songs are like what I mentioned before, like when you watch Aladdin and he's singing about his own specific instances of things that, like, okay, there's a couple parts where, at least as far as I know, they were songs like written for the movie to help move the plot along. But then like the one that they sing at the end at the base of that hill when it's Meryl Streep and Pierce Brosnan, like I recognized that as a song that I've heard before, and like Dancing Queen and a couple of the other ones. Like, if I had to guess, there were like 5 maybe real songs in the movie.
That's about
ABBA.
Where I was. Like Dancing Queen, I knew. Money, 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 I knew. Mamma Mia, I knew.
But like, you could tell me every single song in the movie was a real ABBA song, and I wouldn't have known. But like maybe they're just deeper cuts and they didn't get radio play or something. But I'm guessing some of them were written for.
No, they're all.
They all are.
They're all ABBA songs. And
okay,
I think,
see there, I had no clue.
And I think ABBA actually came and wrote some, because they was based off of the play, right? First, I think they helped do some originals, but they were still ABBA songs, if that makes sense.
Okay, but that's more what I mean is like, there were definitely a couple, like, for whatever reason, the one that sticks out in my head that I would bet was written for this and wasn't a pre-existing song because it like fit too perfectly was... after Amanda Seyfried spends the day on the boat with the 3 guys, and then she gets off the boat and she meets her fiance, played by Dominic Cooper, on the beach, and they have their little song like that. I don't remember exactly what the song was about, but in my head at the time, I was like, this feels too contextual to exactly what's happening.
That song's called Lay All Your Love on Me, and it's from their 1980
so again,
album.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. SOS, Take a Chance on Me was a song I really like that's in this. So yeah, all ABBA songs. I didn't realize they were all ABBA songs too until about halfway through. I'm like, wait, this is an ABBA song. This is an ABBA, you know what I mean? Like, oh, these are all ABBA songs. So yeah, did you enjoy? Okay, so as far as musicals go, it's definitely not Les Mis, right? There's no but it's tonally different than a movie like Les Mis. This is a romantic comedy. So did you feel like the music fit what was happening, or do you feel like it was maybe a little too shoehorned in?
Well, like I said, at times I would have guessed that the songs were originals written to fit the plot. So at times the songs sounded like they belonged, but like anytime I actually recognized one, it didn't really fit.
Yeah.
To me, like, I mean, maybe, the meaning of the song matches or something. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention to the lyrics to really know.
Dancing Queen, though, is the one where it's just like, how do you fit this in? This doesn't really feel like it goes in this. You know what I mean? Maybe it's almost too big of a hit, like a pop song. I don't know. It just, to me, that one didn't kind of fit with what was going on there. But for the most part, I felt like they kind of wove them in pretty well.
I mean, look, I'll be completely honest. Like I said, I'm fine with musicals. There's musicals that I like. There's others I don't. Like, I've seen the original West Side Story, and it didn't really move the needle for me. Singing in the Rain is like a classic, and like I watched it and was like, some of the choreography is neat, but like this isn't exactly my bag. But there's other ones that I really like. I'm a fan of like Cannibal the Musical by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. But this movie, like I said, I see like all the ridiculous kind of eye-rolly, but like that's what these kind of movies are, tropes of a romantic comedy. I thought that the cast was pretty good, but in this specific instance of Mamma Mia, I think I would have liked this movie way more if it wasn't a musical. If it was just this same plot, but written like a real movie, and maybe with like a tad more drama. Like, I like the cast, I like the setting, I like all the stupid pomp and circumstance and the ridiculous premise. The music, like, especially, there's like a lot of songs in this.
A lot of songs.
Like, if you think about like your standard like Disney princess movie or like Aladdin or Lion King or something, like I'd guess throughout like a hour and a half runtime, there's maybe like between 6 and 10 songs. It felt like there were like 18 fucking songs in this. Yeah. And it got to a point towards the end where like, because in the beginning, there was like a lot of just like dialogue and talking, and then a song would pop up here and there. But in the latter half of this movie, it's like a song would end, there'd be like 2 lines of dialogue, and then another song would start.
Yeah.
And I started like to like saying under my breath as I was watching, like, fuck, another one? And at some point it just felt like we're not really moving the plot along at all. We're just like finding an excuse for, like, it's like how, they talk about the way that they made the last 2 or 3 Mission Impossible movies before they even had a script or a premise. The first thing they would do is get together with Tom Cruise and say, like, what are our like 3 big set pieces going to be? Then we'll write the movie around it. It felt like they were like, oh man, but I really love this ABBA song. We can't leave this one out. Oh, fuck it. Just put it in the 3rd act somewhere. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I was pretty annoyed by the movie by the 3rd act. I'll be honest.
I didn't think I got annoyed ever, but I do agree with you in the sense of the songs and the narrative was way more entertaining especially the 1st act, in the premise and the setting up of things. Even up until when she goes on the boat and talks to the 3 dads and kind of connects with each one of them individually and then has a fight.
Even that scene, it's like a montage, and it's like, after she gets, like, we see like 8 seconds maybe of her and Pierce Brosnan, and they've got like drawings, and she puts the one in her pocket, and then like later he comes to her and he shows her the drawings she did, and he starts questioning her about what she wants out of life, and do you just want to stay here and help your mom, or do you want to pursue art? And it's like, that's really the only time it's ever brought up, except for when Pierce Brosnan mentions it to Meryl Streep later. But it's like, I would have preferred that sequence on the boat way more if we got like a 5-minute dialogue scene between each of the 3 people. Sure. And she connected with one guy over his music, and she connected with another guy over her art, and she connected with the other guy over, I don't know, his fucking boat or something. Like, it just like breezed through the 3 of them. This is like their big opportunity for her to like meet and get to know these people who are potentially a member of her blood family. Yeah. And it's just like breezed over through a music montage, and then we're on to the next song and dance number.
Sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I agree with you to an extent. I do think that stuff that works better for me. And then it felt like the 3rd act is a lot of wheel spinning because there's no story left to tell, right? Yeah. It's like, who's her dad? Like, get to the dad. They keep trying to delay it, but there's every delay of answering the question of who's her dad is just them spinning their wheels over and over and over again. And then it gets into like, she doesn't even really want to get married and all this kind of stuff. And it's just kind of wheel spinning in about halfway through the movie where it's like, all right, let's get to it. Let's answer some questions. So yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But at the same time, I was having fun with the music, so it's hard for me to say that I didn't.
It's like I recognized some of the songs or whatever, and I don't necessarily dislike them, but just like, I don't know. Like I said, the frequency and the performative nature of them and like the wheels spinning, where it felt like I was supposed to be watching a concert, but I'm like, this is a movie with a plot. Like, stop leaving the plot in the dust just to do a song and dance number.
The strength of the movie is the cast, though. Like, the cast is stellar.
Yeah, and if Pierce Brosnan didn't have to sing, I bet he'd be great in it.
Sure. But I mean, just Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, Stellan Skarsgård, Julie Walters, all these people can carry scenes, right? Like, they have enough charisma and natural acting talent to just carry the movie on their own. And that's the strength of the movie. And then it kind of gets pried away from them because they got to sing a song and they got to sing a song and they got to sing a song.
I wanted this to be less what it is and more like I said, Notting Hill or 9 Months or fucking Pretty Woman or The Birdcage. I just wanted it to be like a comedy, drama, romance movie with scenes rather than songs.
Sure. Yeah, I get you.
At some point, like I said, especially getting into the latter half and especially the third act is when I really started to just kind of feel a degree of disdain for the way that the movie was being presented to me.
Yeah, no arguments there. All right, let's talk a little bit about the money this movie made. Cost of the movie, $52 million. I think
location.
The cast. We'll talk about the location a little bit because I do want to talk about the cinematography of this movie later. But I'm guessing the music and the cast is where the money really went because you got a lot of big names in this one. Worldwide box office take was $610 million.
Jeez.
$610 million on a $52 million budget. So let's say you even double that for like publicity and PR and all that kind of stuff. So you're spending $100 million on this movie. It still made $600 million worldwide. So people got paid off of this one. And so it debuted in 3,000 theaters on July 18th and grossed $27 million in second place behind The Dark Knight, also debuting, which grossed $158 million that weekend.
Oh, man.
Normally don't do this, but the top 10 movies that weekend were The Dark Knight, Mamma Mia in first and second, Hancock, Journey to the Center of the Earth, Hellboy 2, WALL-E, Space Chimps, which also debuted, Wanted, Get Smart, and Kung Fu Panda.
I've seen all of those except for Space Chimps and Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Does Journey to the Center of the Earth, does that have The Rock in it?
Brendan Fraser, I think.
Okay.
No, The Rock was... Escape to Witch Mountain or whatever. Is that what you're thinking of?
Journey to Wind Mountain? Something like that. Anyways, it's just funny to think because this is almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago. And, we talked a lot when we were doing 1985, but if you go to the theater, there's something for everybody, right? Like, there's just always things to see. And 17 years ago, it wasn't that much different. Maybe the movies weren't as great, but there's something for everyone on this week. Like, I was looking at the movies. I want to actively go to the theaters because it's something to do and I kind of want to support.
And in a couple more years, you may not be able to anymore.
Exactly. And I'm watching, I look up the theater, movies playing in theaters, and it's literally just dog shit. It's like not even good movies are available to watch. Like, there's just nothing in the theaters. And you go this weekend, and obviously you've got The Dark Knight, and everyone's going to go see The Dark Knight. But if you don't want to go see The Dark Knight, you've got Mamma Mia, and you go, you got Hancock. What is Hancock doing there? But you got 3 comic book movies with The Dark Knight. I guess
Hancock's a superhero movie, even though it's not a comic book.
And you've got Hellboy 2, and you've got Wanted. So you've got a bunch of genre movies. You got Get Smart, which is a comedy based on a property from back in the day. You've got Kung Fu Panda for the kids. You got WALL-E for the kids.
I mean, Space Chimps is presumably for the kids.
No idea what Space Chimps is. I didn't even want to look it up.
If you're looking for hardcore sex, you got Space Chimps.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, this is a thing that I see all the time. like a lot of movie shit, so I get a lot of movie related content in my social media, but like all the time I'm seeing like reels on Instagram where people are like talking about the movies that are out right now if you want to go to the theater, kind of like you were, and then they'll pick like a random weekend in the 90s and they'll just list all the movies, and it's like they're all like memorable bangers.
Yep. Yeah. It's tough. Okay, so that was the top 10. It grossed 17 million, 12 million, and 8 million in its following weeks, respectively. It remained in 1,500 plus theaters until the second week of September. So it was in theaters wide for the entire summer. And it was slowly taken out of theaters by the beginning of November.
So this still made a ton of money overseas then.
Yes, grossing 143 million domestically. And so if you take the 143 million domestically, it still made, 400 and whatever million worldwide. It played everywhere because ABBA is a Swedish band or a European band. They're huge around the world and people love their music. So, and it's got a bunch of stars in it. So it just raked in the cash. I didn't see it because I saw The Dark Knight 8 times in the theaters. So I was too busy watching that movie over and over again. As far as reviews go, it's got 96,000 fans on Letterboxd. So a lot of people have put this in their top 4. It's got a 3.8 rating with 1.7 million ratings on Letterboxd. So a lot of people have seen it. 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's technically rotten.
That's surprising.
Well, critics were not a big fan of this, and we'll go over that in a second. I don't normally include this, but the audience score wasn't that much bigger. It's 66% audience score. So I don't know, like, I thought it would be, like one of those movies where critics didn't like it, but everyone rated it really high, and it didn't have a huge bump in the audience score. But
it's just weird to hear that it's got 96,000 people on Letterboxd to include it in their top 4, but it's only got a 66% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, so the reviews. The reviews were not kind. Kenneth Turin of the Los Angeles Times gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And said, a sage once advised being wary of movies in which the people on screen are having more fun than the people in the audience. Mamma Mia was that good advice.
Wow. I like that.
They do look, when you're watching this movie, it feels like, and maybe just because Meryl Streep is such a good actress, she looks like she's having the time of her life.
Well, even like, it's just, the troubling plot point of like, okay, Jesse, let's just say that you and me and like, let's just throw our old buddy Andre in there, who we went to school with. Let's just say that by some coincidence, the three of us all fucked the same woman back when we were at the Kubert School in 2004, right?
Got it. Yep.
It's been 20 years.
Yep.
If you received a letter in the mail today, allegedly from this woman, and she said, my daughter's getting married, please come to the wedding, like, would you go? Because I know I sure as hell wouldn't. I think Andre might because he's the most personable, nice, lovable guy in the world, but
I don't know, man. That's
only do all 3 guys, regardless of what station of life they're in, just like readily and happily go. Like, I don't want to go to weddings of people I know. Like, they don't even know this person.
Yeah.
They all go, and then as awkward and weird and fucked up as the whole thing is, they're just all smiles the whole fucking time. And I know that like that's the whole thing of the movie, is it's just supposed to be this fun romp. But that's where I say, like, if it wasn't this musical dictated by how fun all the songs are, and it was allowed to be like it still should be a comedy and all, but if it was like allowed to be a little more realistic and dramatic, and those guys could be actual characters instead of just like grinning dicks that worked once 20 years ago, I don't know. It would have, I would have preferred it.
Yeah, I got you.
So you didn't answer the question. Would you go to the wedding?
Probably. I'd probably go. I know. Roger Ebert.
Well, you wouldn't see me there. That's all I'm saying. You'd have to get a ride on someone else's boat.
Yeah, that's funny. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 2 out of 4 stars and said, I saw the stage version of Mamma Mia in London, where for all I know, it is now entering the 2nd century of its run, and I was underwhelmed. The film version has the advantage of possessing Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Amanda Seyfried, Colin Firth, and Julie Walters, but their assets are stretched fairly thin. And there are the wall-to-wall songs by ABBA, if you like that sort of thing. I don't, not much, with a few exceptions.
Man, everybody's getting catty about this movie. I like it.
I told you, man. I told you. Anthony.
Oh God. I just glanced at the first line of the next review. I already like this one.
All right. Anthony Lane, I mean, it's the New Yorker, of the New Yorker, said, the legal definition of torture has been much aired in recent years, and I take Mamma Mia to be the useful contribution to that debate.
Jeez.
Holy crap, man. I mean, that's a little extreme, buddy.
96,000 fans on Letterboxd.
Moira McDonald of the Seattle Times gave it 2.5 out of 4 stars and said, none of this would matter much if this movie wasn't anchored by a star turn, and Streep delivers yet another in a career full of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Limenick of the New York Post gave it 3 out of 4 stars, said, a fun, crowd-pleasing alternative for an audience whose idea of entertainment runs more to infectious 70s pop ditties, spandex, sex-starved women of a certain age, and bare-chested hunks than watching a caped sadist torturing criminals.
Damn.
So, not a fan of The Dark Knight was Lou Limerick.
Make his Marvel, I suppose.
Yeah. Holy crap. Taking shots at The Dark Knight on the way out. A.O. Scott of the New York Times gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars and said, you can have a perfectly nice time watching this spirited adaptation of the popular stage musical, and once the hangover wears off, acknowledge just how bad it is.
Wow.
I told you, man. The critics were not a fan of this movie. All the good ones, I know there was a lot of them, and I didn't include them all, of course, but the positive ones were like, it's fun, it's cute. It's,
yeah.
You know, they didn't say anything about the movie, so I
not exactly criticism.
Yeah, I didn't really want to include those. It's like, I had a good time at the theater. Like, great. All right, Leonard Maltin, our boy Leonard. Where do you think Leonard Maltin is going to fall on the scale of liking or not liking this movie?
I mean, based on everybody else, I'm guessing like dead center.
Yeah. All right. Leonard says, cheerful adaptation of the internationally successful stage show based on the enduring songs the Swedish pop group ABBA. Seyfried has been raised by her mom on a Greek island. Now that she's going to be married, she sends wedding invitations to the 3 men who might be her father. Din's story strings together a parade of songs by an attractive cast, though Streep's pipes outshine her co-stars. With beautiful Greek scenery as the backdrop, creators of the show also put together this feel-good film, which seemingly has 4 or 5 finales, but they're all fun. 3 stars. Leonard liked it. So he's like the opposite of Roger Ebert, where he's like, I do like ABBA songs. I think that's kind of where the critics land. It's like, do you like ABBA or do you not like ABBA? Torture's rough, though. Like that
was pretty good.
That's rough. All right, awards. There's a bunch. Golden Globes nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Best Actress, Motion Picture, Musical Comedy for Meryl Streep. Both were nominations. Both didn't win. Actually, all of these are nominations. It got nominated for like a lot of stuff, but didn't really win anything. BAFTA's outstanding British film nominated, best film music nominated, and the Carol Foreman Award for special achievement by a British director, writer, or producer for the first feature film. Also nominated.
What is with all of these British awards where it's like, hey, your first time out, nice job, pat on the back? I feel like this is like the 3rd movie we've talked about that had some kind of nomination.
They always
where it was
make up stuff.
Hey, you're new to the industry. We're just desperate to give an award here.
Yeah. At the Golden Globes, Vicky Cristina Barcelona won for Best Musical or Comedy. Burn After Reading, Happy Go Lucky, and In Bruges were also nominated. Best, let's see where Meryl Streep was, lost to Sally Hawkins in Happy Go Lucky. Rebecca Hall, Frances McDormand, and Emma Thompson were also nominated. Grammys, it was nominated for Best Compilation Soundtrack Album for Motion Picture, Television, or Other Visual Media. The American Music Awards, nominated for Favorite Soundtrack. The MTV Movie Awards, Best Breakthrough Female Performance for Amanda Seyfried, also a nomination. And the Satellite Awards, which I feel like we learned about this last year. Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical, Meryl Streep was nominated.
It had something to do with like journalists or something.
Yeah, it's the International Press Academy.
Yeah.
So those were the all the nominations. It did win. I mean, if you look at all the accolades, there's a bunch of them for just a bunch of like random stuff. It won Empire Awards, Best Soundtrack, Golden Raspberry, we don't talk about it. Golden Reel Award, it won. Irish Film and Television Awards, it won. I mean, so it was nominated for like a bunch of different stuff. No Oscars, no Academy Awards. As for notes I've got, it was based on the 1999 Jukebox musical, which has grossed, guess this, $4.5 billion worldwide since 1999.
Jesus.
The director, Philidia Lloyd, was also the original stage play director. And this is kind of what I want to talk about as far as the look of the movie. Most of the outdoor scenes were filmed on location on small Greek islands there. A complete set of Donna's Greek villa was built on the 007 stage at Pinewood Studios, and most of the film was shot there. So there's a very clear distinction of when stuff is outdoors and when stuff is not outdoors. There's some like really bad green screen stuff going on here that I thought, gosh, what are they doing? Like, did they just not have time to film all of this stuff outdoors? Because the stuff that's on location is gorgeous because, of course, it's these like beautiful summer Greek islands, right? Like, yeah, it's just gorgeous. When she's on the villa and they don't have that location, it's like, what is kind of, I don't know. To me, it was like a real hit or miss. I'm like kind of jarring at how bad some of the look of the green screen was. And then the sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, was released in 2018. It's both.
Frankly, you got to ask yourself, why did it take 10 years after the first one made that much money?
Yeah. Maybe because of the cast. I don't know. That'd be my probably is trying to get all those people back together.
Yeah, but all those people probably could have gotten paid pretty well after the success of the first one.
Yeah, that's true. It's both a prequel and a sequel. The plot is set after the events of the previous film is intersected with flashback to Donna's youth in 1979.
Ugh.
And I thought this was interesting. This is Meryl Streep's highest grossing movie, and it's not even close.
I mean, frankly, that's not necessarily surprising because the fact that she's like this renowned actress for dramatic performances, she's not starring in Dark Knight and Iron Man, you know?
Right. She's in, more independent.
Like, as far as, like, crowd-pleasing movies, this has probably got to be one of the biggest she's got, right?
It's the highest-grossing movie she's ever been in.
But I mean, just, like, from, like, the theme and the subject matter and the tone, because otherwise it's, like, The Deer Hunter, Sophie's Choice. These aren't, like, rip-roaring good times.
Well, the next highest-grossing movie for her is The Devil Wears Prada from 2006.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's like another mainstreamy movie.
It's about $300 million less than what this movie made. So,
but that got or is getting a sequel as well, yes?
Yeah, but I don't think she's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've also never seen it, but
neither have I. We'll get to it at some point. I don't know what year that came out. But
2006. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. But yeah, that movie made like $300 million, and I'm sure it didn't cost that much money to make, but this made $600 million. So, yeah.
Well, that movie also probably didn't have any ABBA songs in it.
That's true. It probably didn't have 400 ABBA songs in it. Any other thoughts on the movie itself? The plot, the songs, the music, performances? I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it.
Ryan, the question is, did you miss Mamma Mia?
No. No, I mean, I could have seen where it would go well for me, like in the first act, but I really did start to resent this movie towards the end and just was like getting through it. Honestly, I don't know. It's like I said, I think I could have enjoyed this movie a ton if it was a regular movie. Yeah. And that's not just me, like trashing musicals, because like I said, I have no problem with musicals in general. This one just, it didn't work for me.
Was it torture?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I wasn't enjoying myself by the end.
Yeah.
But like great cast, decent premise for what it is, but yeah, just I don't know. I was just so annoyed at the end where it was just like musical number after musical number after musical number. So
yeah, I'm gonna say I missed it. I didn't love this movie, but
Jenny loves it, so you got to say you missed it.
No, she
got to keep peace in that household. I understand.
She doesn't care whether I like it or not. I enjoyed it. By the end, I agree. It runs long, and it needs to that third act. I think it's like let's get to it a little bit. I don't know. It's not great, but it was whimsical and fancy free, and I enjoyed the music for the most part. And I had fun with it and was listening to some ABBA songs afterwards because I couldn't get them out of my head, Yeah, I nowhere near going to be in my top 10 of 2008. I can spoil that right now. But yeah, I missed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. So that's it.
Fair enough.
I think it's better than I expected because I'm not the hugest musical fan.
Well, as you heard, I didn't expect a goddamn thing because I didn't even know what I was watching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's funny. Like last episode, you're like, "Yeah, I didn't know anything about Son of Rambo. I went in blind," and I'm like, "Oh, Mamma Mia, one of the highest-grossing films of 2008." Yeah, I went in blind,
idea.
Didn't know what I was watching.
That is funny.
It just shows where our priorities are. For like 2 decades, I've been actively wanting to catch up with this little indie film.
Dude,
And then I watched one of the biggest fucking
96,000 fans on Letterboxd, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, what were there, like 210 for
for
Son of Rambo?
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it. That's our 10 movies for 2008. What did we think about the year? I don't know. We're going to find out in our next episode when we recap the year 2008. So make sure you come back for that. We'll give our top 10s. We'll give out some awards and maybe even decide what we're going to be watching for the next season. So come back for that next week. Until then, I'm Jesse Munoz.
I'm Ryan Miller.
2008 wrap up next week. Don't miss it.